am Taylor, and you are listening to the Surviving Maine Behind the Scenes podcast. With me is the incomparable production manager of Surviving Maine Season 4. It's George. How are you, George?
I'm a little concerned about what's happening in the box below me at the moment. I know I'm doing great. Nice to see you, Taylor. Nice to see you, Blue Man Group.
Yeah, I think our special guest for tonight, the Blue Tarp from the Mustago tribe. Oh no, it's TJ. TJ, how are you?
Coming to you live from my increasingly hot and sweaty apartment. It's the Surviving Maine podcast.
Yes, yes. And we would be doing this probably from here together, but Becky has COVID, and so I had it last week. Now Becky has it worse, and uh no in person for TJ.
I'm sad we didn't get to do this and watch this episode together, but glad you're feeling better.
Yes,
And
thank you.
yeah, happy to be here.
Great run, TJ. I gotta say, um, you surprised a lot of people
Yeah.
getting as far as you did,
Thank you.
considering how you started. Your back was up against the wall for the whole game. But your read on people and your power of persuasion really shined through and got you to where you are right now. Well, not voted out, but got you as far as it got you.
It got me to the final destination, one way or another.
So, I mean,
But
you must be proud of the game you played, right? Like, you were entertaining, you had it all.
Thank you. I think that I didn't realize in I would say yes, I would say I'm proud of the game I played. Um, I think I definitely had some blind spots, especially in the early going. I think that until I saw the episodes, I didn't realize that I wasn't even really in particularly a good position on Flagstaff. Um, and I was in a very, very, very bad position on Moosehead. And then, finally started to get some traction, and then the rug was pulled out from under me. So
Do
it
you
was
really think
fascinating run.
do you think you were in a bad position on Flagstaff?
I was fourth or fifth in
Okay.
Flagstaff. I think that
Yeah.
and I think that if we had gone again, which I knew was a possibility, I think I would have been voted out because I think the core three was Dave, Allison, and Shaylee, and this I didn't even realize until much, much, much later.
It felt like in
Um,
your confessionals you were realizing that, and I wonder if you could have dug your way out of that, especially with how paranoid Dave was. He probably would have gotten himself voted out. Who knows? If you had stayed
yeah,
together. Who
it was a
knows?
fascinating it was fascinating sweat that round because as we were standing in the line, like the plan was solidified to vote Kiefer. As we were standing in the line to tribal, it looked like there were three posts set up that had lime green, teal, and blue. So I was looking at it and saying, shit, three tribe challenge. Like, if we lose again, I'm going to go. Like, I was standing in the line, like, do I try to switch it? Do I try to switch it? Just decided not to. Um, but yeah, it was fun. There was just so many different twists and turns in this game. And some that I saw and was part of, and some that just slap you across the face, come out of nowhere. So yeah, it was a hell of a ride.
have you seen a tangram since this game? And if so, did it trigger you?
Tangrams always trigger me. I guess I'll get into it. When I was maybe 14 or 15, I was diagnosed with nonverbal learning disorder, which is just a very sort of nondescript autism spectrum disorder. That's just like it had all these specific things like trouble, social stuff, and spatial relationships was one of them. So tangrams have always been things where I just look at it, I'm like, spatial relationships, fuck this. I can't. Rather than trying to, figure out how to do something, I just look at it like, that's not me. Uh, but I certainly had fun, and Allison and I were both so helpless in this challenge. We were next to each other that whole time. We were just laughing through the whole thing.
Should we talk about the part that was cut out where they had to put them in the squares and no one was getting it? It was taking forever. Liza was giving clues. This was so funny. Liza was giving clues about, like, Liza was like, half of the square is like if you cut a sandwich in half. And TJ's like, or maybe it was Allison, what kind of sandwich? Like they were so funny. What kind of sandwich?
Is it a hot dog or a
Yeah.
hamburger? Like, what are we cutting it on the diagonal, like a tuna melt? I don't know.
No, we were out there forever with that challenge. And then, you know, I think it was Andy after the challenge ended and we went from day to night. Uh, there was that much passage of time.
Mm-hmm.
Andy walked over to like the tangram, and I showed he solved each one in like a minute. Andy is
Wow.
like it was, and he looked at me like,
He's an
"What the
incredibly
hell?"
smart guy.
But there's a lot of you that are incredibly smart. That didn't really have much to do with it. It had to do with just the deprivation. It had to
Mm-hmm.
do with the conditions. It had to do with the stress of having to do it quickly. But it was one of these things that when Andy hosted a game in his home under the Survivor Brooklyn South banner, and he was like, "No tangrams because we'll be there forever." So it was this game that
No,
made him realize that tangrams were probably not the way to go
I
if we
think
want to speed up a challenge.
the square should have been easy. I think these people hadn't eaten in days. Like, even the ones that had eaten got, not that much food as in prior seasons. So these were
That's
deprived people.
something. The deprivation was. I expected the physical struggle. I did not expect to have so much like depleted mental energy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it's like mental resource management is a really important thing in the poker world. Poker tournaments, often you have about 10 playing hours per day, sometimes up to 12. Um, so that I was like, okay, I know how to work around that. Okay, you eat dinner a little earlier, or just have a big meal after, stuff like that. But the um, on now night three of very little sleep and very little food, it's remarkable how dumb you become.
Mm-hmm.
But Seth won that.
He's good at those puzzles, man.
He's
Seth
good.
is
Seth,
apparently an extremely talented man and just such a good guy. And yeah, multi-talented firefighter, paramedic. Like this guy knows his stuff.
and yet underestimated almost at every turn by the rest of the cast until
Absolutely.
this point, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote the long moment of silence. You know what I'm talking about, Taylor?
Which
When
one?
they when when everybody's in a circle, pretty much right at the beginning of the episode, and they're contemplating what the message in the bottle was. And they're all just kind of standing there. And I think there was an intentional edit of everybody with the fear of death on their
Yeah.
face, not one sound, everybody standing in a circle, not communicating, but everybody like, is this gonna be?
Mm-hmm.
I just wrote that down as a really good edit moment. Yeah.
And I think we're all trying to process what it is for ourselves, because then there's the difference of, okay, what do I think it is, and what am I going to say that I think it is?
Yeah.
What were
Um,
those for you? Do you remember at that
I've seen
moment?
Survivor Cook Islands. I see a message in a bottle, and I think double tribal council. But I wasn't. It could have been any number of things, and I was not interested in other people being as confident as I was that that's what it was.
Yeah.
I just liked Adam being extra friendly to Seth after Seth won immunity,
Goes up with
and
the
it
fist
was
bump.
like it was a, and but it was like a total reversal of fortune fist bump. It went, it was usually, TJ getting the sound effect, and now here we go.
The flaccid fist bump, like at the
Yes.
Sandra vote. Doink.
Yeah. But I just like that old switcheroo that it's now on Adam who gets
Yeah.
the sound effect
I loved
as
it too.
he's. Oh, it was pretty great, pretty great, inspired brilliance right there. Um, so what else?
I was wondering, TJ, you and Adam during that second scramble, you're talking and he's saying something and I couldn't make it out. It's just like dot dot dot, not sure what the heck Adam's saying as usual, but this time really couldn't make it out. And I think you told, so I edited your 3.5 hour exit interview
Oh, you
for the
actually did it.
weekend.
Oh my God.
I
You're
got
a
it down to
hero.
three
You
hours. No, I had it on double speed while I was editing.
okay.
But it was great to hear it all back. And you said, I think, and I wish I had listened to it before I finished editing episode 12, but oh well. I think you guys were talking about possibly getting out Allison, but that
Yes, we
you
were.
like didn't have enough time. So talk about that. You were going to turn on Allison.
So I was making it very clear to everyone else in the game that I want to vote out. I was making it clear to some people that I want to vote out Allison eventually, making it very clear to Adam, and making it very clear to Allison that I want to vote out Adam eventually.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure that I have two shields in front of me and that other people will want to work with me because they see that, okay, yes, I am working with these people, but we can work with TJ later on because even if it's not now, he still has he'll flip with us to get Adam later. He'll flip with us to get Allison later. Once Allison played that second idol, I said to Adam when we stood up, I said, do we have to just do it now? She's going to bend Driebergen her way to the end.
Mm.
She at this point has been immune for the entire merge. She's been
Really?
immune 6 rounds in a row. They won 2 challenges. Madison, Sandra, um, the buyback challenge. She's immune. 10. She wins a necklace. 9 idol. 8 idol. She's been immune 6 rounds in a row and already won a fire making challenge. So I was absolutely terrified of keeping Allison in another second in that game. But if I didn't have Adams like for sure ready to do this, then it wasn't gonna happen.
So I'm wondering if you have any regrets there because three people had just voted for Allison. Two of them are left in the game. They're not people you had been working with, but if you could go back, what would you do? Maybe nothing.
Um, I honestly haven't thought about. I'm sure you can imagine, knowing me, how many scenarios I've thought of
Yes.
over the last however long it's been, 16 months since this game happened. But yeah, no, go to Nick and Seth. That was not an option I'd considered, honestly, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe it could have worked, but I think that it probably wasn't the right time, even because then I drop one shield and I maybe if I really like push that vote there and make a big move, I maybe jump to 1 or 2 in the threat leaderboard.
Oh,
Little
absolutely. I
did I
think
know how much was going on behind me.
yeah, I mean, not everyone in the game was seeing Adam as any kind of threat at all, other than you, according to the confession. And Seth was the other one. Uh, yeah, so I think you would have definitely been the big one, next one to go if you hadn't gone this round and had pulled that off.
What
My
is it?
bromance with Adam is well documented. That was I definitely saw him as a threat. I definitely when I see, like I for my whole life, like I'm a jock nerd. Like I like sports. I like to compete, but I'm really like a dorky guy at heart.
Rob Sister
So
Newish.
when I see the people like Adam who are just as smart as me and are also good at challenges and incredibly handsome and charming, and I'm just like, this fucking guy, like he's just always going to be better than me, and
Golden boy.
I want to hate him, but I love him.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it like watching yourself in these episodes? Did you enjoy watching yourself perform and just play the game?
I absolutely loved it, George. I think that um I was like always kind of a I wanted to be friends with the theater kids when I was in high school, but I was too scared to actually like commit to it. Um, so I've always liked being on stage or in front of a camera and stuff like that my whole life. And to have this opportunity to do this in Maine was just tremendously rewarding. And then to see it back, and with such a fleshed out story, and just to get to see so much of what was really going on out there,
Mhm.
with great storytelling and funny editing and all this wonderful stuff that Taylor has put together for us. I'm tremendously grateful.
On that note, Taylor, one of your subtitles made me fall out. You did Nick said something and ended with zup zap zumping. Do you remember that moment?
I don't even
It was
remember that.
like like it made sense for the
Yeah.
first three or four words, and then the last word, you, the subtitles were zup zap zumping, and I fell out. Yeah, it was. I on a personal level, I probably said this, I think, in the last podcast. Um, I had one impression of you when the game started, and watching these episodes back, I realized how good you were and how perceptive you were at basically at every turn. You were calling things like Miss Cleo over there, clairvoyant you seem to be. Um, how does this compare to sitting at the poker table with the high stakes? How does this experience compare to that? I mean, there's not that much money involved, but besides that,
It's extremely similar. Poker is a mathematical game played by people with flawed human brains. Survivor is much the same, but your brains are even more flawed than usual. Um, so yeah, I think it requires picking up on picking up on what people are doing when they're not interacting with you, picking up on people's overall demeanor, and just yeah, just looking for clues. And you can certainly be wrong. Um, there are many times in poker I've made made an outside the box play based on something that I thought, and I was completely wrong, and I felt like an idiot.
Mm.
But other times you do it and you're right, and you just have to trust your intuition, and hope that you're right more often than you're wrong.
answer. um, yeah, you left me speechless. That was pretty good. I'm usually not.
Well, George, I
Um,
would like to thank you as well, because you said on one of the first couple podcasts, and I've been wanting to say this to you. You said that your goal out there was to just make sure everybody knew they had a friend out there, made sure they knew somebody was rooting for them, and hoping they have the best experience possible. And you absolutely did that. It was great having you in the booth. Like when I lost the challenge, you had such gentle, kind words for me. I remember once, sort of later on in the game, I did, a voting confessional. And I think you said like, great job, man. Like you're so articulate, keep it up. And it really, I was like, like, okay, like I know I'm, at this point, this is maybe final 10 or final nine. So I'm like, okay, I know I've been doing okay, at least in the game, but I didn't really know if I was doing well with the cameras and with what I was saying. And you
Very well.
saying that to me really just made me feel like, I'm so glad to hear that and so grateful that somebody is here to speak kind words to us in a very stressful environment.
That means a lot to me. You have no idea. Thank you.
Aw.
Oh, so who did we see come alive this episode? Let's talk about that for a second.
How
I think
about
we saw.
Seth, huh?
That's what I was going with. I think this is the first episode where I think Seth feels like he can win, maybe. And it's the first episode where I said, I think Seth wants to win. I think this
Yeah.
is the first episode where he wants to win and realizes that he's gonna have to do some more lying than he has been doing and deceiving. And I think that was the part of the game that he had the most trouble with because
Mhm.
it's so far removed from who he is as a human being. But it is fun watching him get that fire in his eyes, as
Yeah.
opposed to sort of observing and saying, "How am I supposed to play this game?" To, "Oh shit, I know how to play this game, and I think I can." It's a really cool little moment there, and also Callie. Callie comes alive in this episode. She realizes I'm not going to win this thing if I don't make a big move, if I don't figure out how to play this idol successfully.
What do
Really
we
impressive,
think about the conversation between her and Amelia where she's just like, please, please let me play the idol?
riveting. It was riveting.
Yes. What
TJ.
do you what do you think, TJ?
I mean, it was bonkers. Callie is effectively holding Amelia at gunpoint, is
Yeah.
what's happening. She's saying, "Hey, there are 5 votes for you. I would really like to put this gun down and have you immune from this vote. Can I please do this for you?" And Amelia's like, "I don't know how I feel about that."
It was wild to watch.
It's a
I couldn't
testament.
believe
It's a
it.
testament to the deprivation. But also I would say maybe a testament to how safe Amelia was feeling at that point due
And yeah,
to her extreme insulation. She's got people here, there, and everywhere trying to protect her.
eventually it did make sense that she was like, okay, I already know we definitely have 4 votes on Lauren. Just vote for Lauren, stupid. And then we get Lauren
Yeah.
out. You don't need to do this elaborate plan. We don't know what's going to happen. Save your idol. Like she talks Callie out of doing this. It's so wild to me that like at first I was like, what is Amelia thinking? She's lost her mind. And as it went on, I was like, okay, Amelia's just like really smart. Also didn't trust Callie. I don't know if that came through. She did not trust Callie at all. Didn't even believe Callie had an idol, ended up making Callie pull it out and show her the idol. Like it was a lot, but like she knew where the votes were. She knew that if this is true that Callie wants to play with her, just don't vote for me and it'll be fine, right? Because we'll have the votes to do this. Save the idol for whatever this twist is. She convinces Callie to do it. What she is not prepared for is for Callie to then turn on her so much. And I think it would have been better for Amelia to just let the plan happen.
Yes.
You'd still be there. Her best ally, Amelia's best ally.
It was that twist that allowed Callie to put her plan in motion of making a big move. She very
Mhm.
quickly assessed it's going to be Seth. Let me make this big move, save him. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Does that solidify Callie with Seth in this moment? Is that something that you think happens as a result of this? Who knows?
I think Callie's smart enough to know that Lauren had Seth doing whatever Lauren wanted him to do, basically. And if she could just pick up the leash and take puppy dog Seth to the next vote. Like, I think that's what she's thinking she can do. Will it work? I don't know, because Seth has now discovered this game is about lying and manipulation, and he's having a lot of fun doing it. So he could go on to lie and manipulate everyone else tomorrow.
It's true.
That conversation between Amelia and Callie, I'm going to have to watch that another 5 times because that was something obviously I was completely unaware of in that game. And it's basically it's two shy under the radar players that are both trying to strong arm each other in one direction. And Amelia literally has brought a knife to a gunfight. Callie has an idol. Amelia knows about it. And Amelia wins with her knife.
Yes.
I don't know how that happened, but Callie made sure that she regained control very quickly thereafter.
Yeah, she got to shoot that gun eventually.
So is
He
this
took
the
the bullet.
episode where I screwed up Lauren with that idol? This is it, right?
It
Oh
is,
God, help
George.
me.
And I just want to say you're the only one who's talked about it. So you can't be mad at Lauren for telling anyone. She never said it on
No,
camera. She
no.
never.
I think my guilt
Yes, good.
in overlooking that has haunted me. And I feel like the more I talk about it, the more I'm exercising the ghost, or
Yeah.
maybe I'm making it even bigger. But I've produced 8 of these things, 9 of these things, and that was my biggest uh regret. Now, mind you, I didn't know that those idols were being placed in the urn. I had no,
Right.
that was not.
How would you know? You
I,
wouldn't. How
I
would
I
you?
guess it's my. I'm in charge of tribal council, so I
Yeah.
should look in the urn.
Yeah.
But there were 1,000 things going on, and
So
when she goes, "Oh my
let's
God, I
explain.
found an idol,"
Let's explain for anyone who hasn't seen
sure.
prior podcasts about this. And I'm going to show the full clip um until you turn the camera off, because it's watching it was heartbreaking for me. It's the look on her face broke my heart. I couldn't. uh
I couldn't apologize
yeah.
enough.
But
I was heartbroken.
Lauren has just gone through this whole traumatic thing where she thought she had this extra vote. She's reading the paper, she realizes, oh my god, this isn't going to work. I'm probably going home. She finally writes Allison's name down, puts it in the urn. As she opens the urn to put Allison's vote in, she sees an idol in the bottom of the urn. And she looks back at George and says, George, oh my God, George, and pulls out the idol like, I'm safe, obviously, and you just let me have that whole moment. And and you can hear George behind the camera, no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. And
Wait, I
Lauren's
didn't
face
stop recording.
drops.
I didn't stop recording.
No, you said, oh no, no, no. And Lauren's face drops, and then you hit stop. And the last frame is Lauren's face just like going from ecstatic to like the saddest thing you've ever seen. It's heartbreaking.
This is gonna be either less interesting or more interesting than I thought, and now I feel like not great. All right. George. Oh my god.
What? Wait, no, 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 no.
Oh. That's not an idol?
No. What?
The worst, the worst. I was like, this girl is never gonna talk to me again, ever. And I wouldn't
It
have
was
blamed her.
not your fault. It
I
really
mean, it
wasn't.
was, but it wasn't at the same time. Like that
No.
was my domain up there. I should have had a handle on it, but we were like, this was double vote. I was like, just let us go to bed. And it was something that we wanted to get over with. And
Yeah.
I again never felt so bad about a mistake in a game, that for and the was she the first person to vote? She had to
No.
have been.
No.
Then
Other
how?
people just didn't look in it. She was the second to last person to vote.
That's incredible. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
I can understand if she was the first person,
Yeah.
but who looks in the urn?
Mhm.
Thorough players like Lauren.
Yeah.
Lauren is a thorough player, and oh my God, I felt really bad, and I still do.
Oh,
I Yeah.
I was talking to Becky about this. In season 2, same thing happens to Becky. She opens the urn to put her vote in, finds an idol that Liza had put in there from the previous round that Becky wasn't at that tribal. She didn't know. Pulls it out. She's like, oh my God, Sam is behind the camera. Sam, who plays in season 3 later. Sam is behind the camera, and Becky, we were just talking about this earlier today, and Becky was just like, is this real? Can I take it? And Sam says nothing because Sam is bewildered. Sam's like, I have no idea. So Sam says nothing. She's just like, okay. And then Sam ends up telling Liza when Liza comes up to read the votes, and Liza's like, well, fuck, I guess it's an idol now. So they were fast and loose in season 2 with the rules. And I was talking to Becky about this, like, what do you think about this, about George being strict with the rules? And she was like, okay, like, yeah, I wouldn't have had that idol, but in the final 5 challenge that Becky played in, the rules were changed mid-challenge, and it made her lose that challenge. So she was like, maybe George would have been stricter on the rules of that challenge and wouldn't have let anyone change the rules mid-challenge. So if Becky was more in favor of there being rules, and so if you find an idol without a note, that's not a real idol, right? So when she put it that way, I completely agree. I don't think the rules should be on a whim, like, okay, yeah,
No,
let's do this.
no
No,
way.
like, let's have rules here.
No, I'm a stickler for the rules.
Yeah.
I make sure that the games are profoundly fair.
Yes.
There's no other way around it. You have to, and uh, that was that was I was faced with something a little different than this. In my first game that I ever produced in a park, we were in a public park, and the guy found an idol early on in the game, and he didn't think he was going home. And during the tribal council, when he realized that he was in trouble, he ran away from tribal council to his bag where the idol was.
Oh.
And he returned to tribal council to play that idol. And I had a moment of, what the fuck do I do here? And I
Yeah.
said, nope, you're not
Wow.
playing that idol. You
Wow.
did not have that idol on you at camp. If this was CBS Survivor and you realize that you left your idol back at camp,
Yeah.
you think Jeff Probst is going to let you run back to camp and get that idol? You're an idiot for not bringing that idol with you to tribal council. All of a
Yeah.
sudden, you think that you're in trouble. Now you're going to run. So ever since,
Wow.
I've made it clear in my notes to the cast that are coming to the game,
Mm-hmm.
make sure that idol is on you with tribal council because you're not running away and getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure that was the right call.
Yeah.
He wound up getting voted out and not being invited back for All Stars. So
Ouch. Yeah, I like rules.
sorry, Lauren. Really, 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 still knowing how frazzled and up against the wall you are, and misreading the whatever that was called, the shot in the dark stipulations. Uh, couldn't have happened at a worse moment for the person who needed it the most.
Yeah.
Horrible feeling. To
Yeah.
this day, I'm talking about it, and like I feel like I want to throw up. That's how bad I feel about that.
And you shouldn't. You're just that's nice of you. That's nice of you to feel guilty, or maybe, I don't know, the Jewish guilt, who knows.
I'm
Um
not Jewish.
yeah, oh, you just use Yiddish words sometimes. Yeah, you're Greek,
That's
right?
true. Greek and Italian
Yeah.
eyebrows. Yeah.
uh um uh this podcast is coming out Wednesday. Tuesday night, Lauren's long form deep dive interview comes out, and she didn't mention it at all. Like, So feel good that she didn't talk about it. She did have me stop recording and then told me about it so that she could process it, but she specifically said I need to tell you this off the record.
She's worked through it because there's a
Yeah.
dartboard in her house that she, throws at my pictures. So she's gotten through this already.
Bowling pins, perhaps, George. We played a game at Ponderosa of guess Lauren's favorite hobby that starts with a B, and a lot of other guesses were made before we got to bowling. And you can ask Addison what his guess was, but eventually we found out it was bowling.
Oh my God, I need to know Addison's guess.
I don't know if I do.
Just in private.
Um,
Speaking of certain a certain little birdie may have told me that that double tribal council was not supposed to happen. George, is there any
it's funny.
credence to this?
I I was racking my brain today trying to remember if that wasn't something that I came up with. I don't remember it at all. I just thought it was. I think it was a part of the plan from the beginning. I
Yeah,
I, I don't.
the final day is always the final six, so it would have to be
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't an 11th hour sort of decision. I think that was part of the plan the whole time, to do that.
Getting woken up at
But
midnight at least.
I can't, yeah, I can't be certain, but I know that it wasn't my decision to do
Mhm.
something like that. I think if I don't remember it as my decision, then it was probably part of the plan going from
Yeah,
the beginning.
yeah.
Well, I'm
Right.
tremendously grateful we had you to sort of come in and steer the ship because there was a lot of things going in a lot of different directions out there, and we were lucky to have just so many kind people trying to make sure we got everything done, and also everybody had a good experience. So
Thank
I'm
you.
glad
Did he?
you stepped up so much to be able to keep things moving and keep us going and keep us having fun.
Yeah. I was kind of blindsided by it. As I've probably mentioned before, I was supposed to have, you know, a very relaxing couple of days filming challenges here and there and supporting Liza, but I did see that there was a gaping hole missing, and there really was no one steering the ship. Uh, and that's my default, and I had the experience from running a 1 day game, and I remember um doing this inspired me to start planning a multi-day game. I was it was trial by fire, and I feel like I rose to the occasion, and it inspired me to do a multi-day game. Now I just have to find the location. I even asked Liza, like, shortly after the game ended, if I could do a season on that property, where Maine was, and it just there was a lot going on with that location, so that it wasn't possible. But yeah, if anybody has any ideas of a place where I can hold a multi-day game, preferably with water challenges. That's what we're looking at. I want to do water challenges. I want to be on a lake house, something like that. If anybody out
We
there,
have a lake house for you in Connecticut. Shout out Survivor Branford. I don't know if they would rent it to another game or if they're Branford only loyalists, but
and I
Lake House
understand
was
that.
fun.
Yeah, that's like the tone that I want for the next game. But I was happy to step in for Liza because Liza has played a couple of my games and has always been a great asset to my to casts. Everybody always loved Liza and wanted to work with them, and it wound up, I was happy to give back to Liza because I have a lot of respect for that person. And yeah, and that's all I have to say about that.
Well, we're so lucky to just have, like I said, such a group of just kind-hearted, dedicated people that we got to play a game for 4 days.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There are a lot of these games out there, and most of them are 1 or 2, and they're fun, but playing for 4 days is a completely different experience. And I think you see it in the quality of season that we've had so far.
Mhm.
We had time to get to know each other. We had plenty of time to strategize and flesh out plans. We had plenty of time to have, all these journeys and reward challenges and all this other stuff happening. Um, and are lucky enough to have one Miss Taylor to, straighten everything out and put together wonderful episodes for us. So we we're just, yeah, we're lucky to have each other and as a part of this larger, wonderful, accepting community.
Yes.
Would
Beautiful.
you apply to the real thing? Have you?
I keep getting waitlisted for other LRGs, so doesn't have me feeling too hot about my chances to get on CBS. I would certainly love to,
It's
but
different.
I'm gonna keep my expectations a little more reasonable. And there are some other LRGs, particularly some New England based ones. We're lucky to have so many in the New England area. I would love to come home, have another excuse to fly home, see my family, and go play a game as I did a couple weeks ago. Shout out Justin, shout out Brandon. Here I am. I'm ready. Let's go.
Outlast and Can You
I would love
Survive?
to play. I would love to play some more, and it's yeah, tremendous pleasure and a joy.
TJ, but have you applied to CBS and would you play the 26-day game?
Absolutely. I honestly, I started applying for what would have been Island of the Idols.
Oh.
And I honestly don't even remember if I actually finished the application or I just like told myself that I did and didn't finish it. I have not applied since then.
I wish you would give it a shot. I think you have a lot going for you. You're very articulate. You've got a handsome face. You've got that. You're a pro poker player. We always need more of those. It's been a while. You've got the strategic mind. You look like you would do good in challenges.
But I don't. So that's the plot twist.
They don't have to know that. They won't know that till you're out there.
I second
Well,
that.
I would love the opportunity to redeem the name of poker players on Survivor because
Yeah.
we have had
Sean
4 now,
Robert.
and they have all found unique ways to do absolutely horribly.
Yes.
So yeah, right now I'm just focused on redeeming the poker community to LRGers.
Okay.
But I would certainly love the opportunity to do it on CBS.
I hope you apply. If you want help with the tape, I can edit it for you.
And I could get it in the right hands.
Yes. But don't say that too loudly, George. They'll hear you.
I'll start charging.
Yeah.
I already paid Adam Klein for
You did.
to make my main video actually. So
What? What? So
that's how
you've got the
bad I wanted to
tips.
get on this, and I'm so glad that I did.
Wow. Intense.
You had Adam
I don't think
Klein
he really
make
helped me
your
that
video
much,
for
but
this game?
no, but he
Oh,
helped me
I
sort of
misheard.
brainstorm for it and told me like, okay, these are the things to point out and stuff like that. I only applied to 2 games last summer, and it just worked out so well.
Yeah, the elusive straight white guy. You have a tough.
So hard to find them.
I have a prop.
You
I
guys are
have some
like
props for you
unicorns.
guys actually. So I was
Why
sick
am I
of
terrified?
getting mixed up with the other tall white guys in Maine. So for the last game I played, I did some shopping on Amazon and made sure that that would not happen again.
He wanted to stand out. No tarp look for TJ and surviving Brantford.
Crazy straight guy.
No more hiding in plain sight.
You had a good time on the last game that you played? without giving anything away, I guess.
I did have a good time, and I think it's going to be a very entertaining season. And yeah, I guess that I can hold my hat on that I do have another game with episodes that's going to be coming out probably January-ish. So
Awesome.
thank you to Jim, thank you to Survivor Brantford. Yeah, it was very fun.
I'll have to give Survivor Brantford a watch.
Yeah.
How many
Season
seasons
10.
have
I
they
was on
done?
season 10.
Wow.
They've done 10 seasons.
That's
Wow.
incredible, huh?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
I'm excited to check that out now. So what's next for you, TJ?
I am living my best life next to the beach here in Long Beach, California, and playing poker mostly at the Commerce Casino. I've been lucky enough to I won was one of 20 people to win a package in May to be a sponsored Commerce Poker Pro. So they've funded some tournament buy-ins for me, including yet another childhood dream that I got to live out in July. I got to play the World Series Poker main event for the first year.
Right
Um,
on.
and I've also played on the Bally's live stream game that was there with mixed results. But yeah, I'm enjoying life here in California, um, playing some poker, and hoping to expand my horizons a bit more though. And I'm lucky to have I'm grateful to be here.
I have a
Mhm.
question about poker. I've
Please.
played a few times Texas Hold'em. I enjoy it. I once won like an 8-person tournament. I don't know how the hell I
That's how
did
it
it.
starts.
Right. I just want your opinion on being dealt pocket queens. Is that a do you is that an exciting hand for you to play, or is that a terrifying hand for you to play? Do you understand why? Like, there's so much that I get so excited when I get pocket queens, but so much can go wrong. Uh, I don't know why I'm interested in this right at this moment, but pocket queens. How do you play a pair
How
of
about an
pocket queens?
analogy, George?
Go for it. Well,
So I think that having hands like queens, ace, king in some situations, but definitely pocket kings, or having a very, very good hand that is not the best hand in poker. I think you encounter these situations in Survivor where you think, okay, this plan is probably going to work, but all these thoughts go through your head. In your case of having queens, what if somebody has kings? What if somebody has aces? What if the flop is ace, king, deuce? Like all of this stuff that could go wrong. But sometimes it's just if I die, I die. Like you have to know, like, okay, I'm in a good position here to put a lot of money into the pot or to, commit to this move or this flip or whatever it is. Um, and you have to accept that, it's going to work out however, whatever percentage it's going to, if it's going to work out 87% of the time, great, let's do it. But I think it goes back to the human brain thing that we all our brains before thinking, um, okay, I'm going to do this because I need to win. Calling on the river is a great example. If you're calling with those queens on the river, maybe it's a king high board and you're not sure if your hand is good or not. If you're facing a pot size bet on the river, for example, the pot's $100, somebody bets $100. You only need to be correct 1 out of 3 times for that to be profitable. But our brains do not like that at all. Our brains say, "I don't want to be wrong." Well, if I'm wrong, I can just fold and nobody will know. But if I call, like I feel dumb. But if you're right 34% of the time, you're making money in that situation. So I think that in poker and also in Survivor, sometimes you just need to override that voice of doubt that's saying, what could go wrong or what other possibilities are there here, and just execute what you think and based on whatever experience you have is the best strategy to implement at that moment.
Couldn't have hoped for a better answer to that question.
TJ
Thank you so
delivering.
much, George. I'm trying to get my coaching business going. So if you know anybody that would like a discount on some poker coaching.
Why not? Go for it. Um, I I that's everything that I have. I don't know, Taylor. How are you feeling right now? Did
Good.
you
I
cover
mean,
everything?
this has been fun. There was one other there was two other things quickly that were cut. One was Allison not being able to get the idol out of her pouch that it was in, and it took like 10 minutes, and production had to come with a knife to open the bag. And George
No
and then
recollection.
and then George says, "Oh, we can edit that. Just fix it in post." And I'm like, "You motherfucker! Who's this we you talk of?"
I don't even remember this happening,
You were
like at
joking.
all.
Yeah, it was. I think it was. No, it wasn't you, but you were. Someone came with a knife, and you were like, "Yeah, no, we don't have to do it over. We'll just fix it in post."
Oh
it was
my
it was easy to
goodness.
fix in post, but anyway, it took a fucking long time for her to open that pouch. And then there was another thing that Adam thought it was going to be him in that double where you go, TJ, and he told Allison that he would give her his shot in the dark if he was voted out. He really loved Allison.
So did a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean,
How can you
every
not?
fucking person loved her, wanted to be her number one. It was every man basically, and Shaylee wanted to be Allison's number one. And now I feel like Amelia's kind of moving in there too. Like all Allison's allies are gone. You're gone for Amelia and Allison, and now like there's this hole, and Amelia's gonna snuggle up to Allison next.
Allison is just such a bubbly, kind, fun person.
Mm-hmm.
I still remember saying to her, sometime, I don't know if it was late day one or early day two, I go up to her, I'm like, I want to be your number one. Like, we're both teachers, we're the same age, like one guy, one girl. It's like it's perfect. And she's just like, oh, thanks. And in the moment, I'm just so nervous about saying that I'm not even noticing that she's not reciprocating. But she's very very good at these games, and just a lovely person. I think that's a great segue. What do y'all think for the fellow strategy nerds such as ourselves that watch this podcast? How do we think of the sort of strategic positioning from this round and going forward?
Mm, mm. A lot. I mean, the game has opened up. A lot has happened.
I have a question.
It's moving around.
As a perceptive person and a poker player, when you are on that gag order and you can't talk to each other and you're sitting on the ground and you're making eye contact with people, do you remember? I'm not going to bring up the Norman Bates thing, because you were there. You go. That's the one that Lauren said. This guy is smiling at me. Oh my goodness. As far as your perception of who what was your read on people in that moment before you even spoke to anybody? Who did you see and go, I think I'm going to wind up working with this person if I can? Was there any of that?
Yes, absolutely. Uh, I was lucky enough. I had seen Dave on my way into the parking lot. I was stopped, and I said, "Oh, hi, you're Sam from season three. Hello." She says, "Don't go up there. Do not. You're gonna park behind that guy, but don't go now." But we had already seen each other at that point, and then Dave and I were making eyes at each other, and Dave made it very clear the string on his bag was the same color as mine. So I immediately connected with Dave. Immediately connected with Zach. I saw there was a guy there that looked and really reminded me of my friend Luke Cronin, incredibly intelligent guy that just graduated from Columbia Law. That would be Nick. So those were three people I feel like I made a positive connection with at first. But can you two guess who was sitting right next to me and would not even much less reciprocate my smile, like would not even turn to look at me, would not face me, nothing.
Yes, but I just listened to your uh long
Okay,
interview,
so
so
you have the
I
answer.
can't do
So
it.
we'll let George
Yeah.
take a
I
guess.
don't know. My first thought, I don't know why, was Seth.
One more guess.
Uh, I mean, not Lauren. Uh, was it Lauren? Or did
It
you
was
just make?
Callie
Oh,
Page.
that was gonna be my next one. But she was like this throughout the whole thing, though. So like, yeah, she kept her cards pretty close throughout that whole game until this round, I think. Really,
Hmm.
is when she felt very desperate.
Callie is the
So,
kind of person you watch out for at a poker table. Someone like
Hmm.
that shows up and that is so stone faced, but just completely zen. And
Hmm.
even though she's not looking you in the eyes, you know she's completely present and focused, and the wheels are always turning.
Yeah.
She's incredibly intelligent, and to be able to pull off a move at the drop of a hat. I don't think, no, I know for a fact that she did not pre-plan. She did not pre-plan like, okay, I'm going to vote for Lauren and then I'm going to flip. She thought of that sitting there in that moment. She came up with this grand move to make. So
so is that our
pretty impressive stuff.
is that our tiki winner for this round? For me, it is.
I think it has to be.
Has to be. What about you, TJ?
I think,
Reluctantly. Yep.
oh no, no, well, I mean, there's one person that was on the right side of both of the votes in this episode. So I think that Callie is the clear winner of the Tiki, but I do want to give a shout out to Nick in this round because I think that once again, Nick avoided getting voted out and is playing a very good like from the bottom game, but at the same time, it's known that Nick is strategic
Yeah.
and is sort of making moves. And Nick has sort of zigged and zagged his way to a final six with some people he could probably have a chance with against at the end. So I think that his positioning and his social game as well with Lauren giving him the necklace this round,
Hmm.
his social game shines through as well. So I think a solid silver medal to Nick on this one.
I'll agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah. Good assessment.
As always,
All
this
right.
man is perceptive.
Is that all we have for tonight then?
That's all I have.
Well then,
I could talk to you for hours, TJ.
yeah,
Honestly.
I could
George, you
absolutely
can
talk to you
listen
for
to him.
hours, George.
You can listen to TJ talk for 3 hours tomorrow, Thursday, when his deep dive podcast comes out. Lawrence came out Tuesday night, and Ponderosa featuring Lauren and TJ comes out Friday. Lots to look forward to this week.
I also would like to plug I'm hosting, not hosting rather, I'm helping Angela, who lives on Long Island, produce a game in her home on a on it's the week before Halloween. It's a Halloween themed house game.
Wow.
Angela's Asylum. We're accepting applications. Um, if you really want to play a game, kind of a lighthearted at home, look it up. Send the on the Survivor Brooklyn South Facebook page. You'll find the application link. Send us an application. We're in the middle of planning things.
That's awesome. Is it Angela with the three last names? Angela Young? Angela,
No,
different one?
no, different Angela,
Okay.
and she goes by Angela Rose, I believe, on Facebook. But there's a whole other last name that I escaping me right now because I only know her as Angela Rose. But yeah, she played Andy's Arena and she made it to the
Mm.
finals. And then she was like, I want to host a game. So I was like,
Got the
let's go.
bug.
Let's start collaborating. Let's plan. And we have some really cool stuff planned.
That's awesome.
Expect a bob for apples, possibly. I don't know. But yeah, thank you so much, TJ. Thank you for being an open book and
Hmm.
talking about things, the very personal things that gave a lot of insight into who you are. And you were so much fun to watch in this season, and you really made this season. You narrated this season so well that you almost made Taylor's job
Too easy.
easy, too easy, because it was so on the money, everything. So thank you. And any LRG, this guy, don't put this guy on the wait list.
Mm-mm.
Make this guy one of your first choices because he deserves another shot in one of these games for sure.
And thanks for being
Thank
a
you
good
so
friend,
much.
TJ. I'm so happy that
Oh,
we met and I have this wonderful friend now.
you are
That's right.
absolutely wonderful, and it's just been such a treat getting to know you and Becky, and we're all so lucky to have each other in this community. I think that a lot of my personal growth journey over the last few years has been realizing I'm a different kind of guy, and it's okay to be different.
Yes.
Let the free
There
flag
are a
fly,
lot of
brother.
different kinds of different people in this community, and we all come together to bond over a game that we all love, and we get to know each other and also support each other and show each other that just be yourself and be yourself, and the people that the people that you connect with will find you. And yeah,
Very
we're,
true.
we're we're very lucky to have this community.
Here, here.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. All right. Bye.
Bye,
Much love,
everyone.
my friends. Thank you so much.